Hi
Hi
everyone.
everyone.
It's a pleasure to be here with you. And this is my first time also in the war room. This is an amazing technology from IE Business School. So I can see you all behind me in that wall. And it's good to see people from so many places of the world. I see Nigeria, Spain, Chile, Brazil, Ukraine. I see Portugal. I see Italy, UK, and I might be missing some of you, but thank you very much for connecting with us. And this is the first class of our series of Scale Up classes, master classes brought to you by IE. And it's an amazing time. And I know there's a lot of bad things happening, but if we see under other perspective, this is also a moment of opportunity. So we're going to have a series of classes. They're going to give you different perspectives of what's going on in the world. So the first one, I'm very glad to be opening this session, and we're going to talk about design. So you must have seen that the title is Experience Design, Building Narratives for the Senses. But this talk is also about the entrepreneurial mindset. And if you have the entrepreneurial mindset, you're able to design almost anything you want. It's just a way of thinking. There's methodologies behind this, but I'm not going to talk about the methodologies, like formal methodologies, but I wanted to talk to you about a little bit on my take on design. I'm also seeing that some of my students are connected, and hopefully future students are connected to watch this. This is a small sample of classes that we give here at IE. So again, this is about the entrepreneurial mindset, how to think like an entrepreneur and make our ideas come true. So I want to start this story in this class today with a personal story. So the personal story starts back in the days, 1983, don't do the math, but this was the time that I had my first startup. So this in the picture, that's me and my elder brother. He was 12 by the age, and we put together a software development company. And it was a time that there was no internet, we couldn't find books on programming, but we managed to self-taught ourselves to program. And I remember the first day when our first client said, "Yeah, I'll work with you guys." And then he said, "Oh, now we have to learn how to program." And the rest is history on that. We're very successful, but we shut down the company at the age of 13 on the top of our game. And then we stopped doing software development and warehouse inventory control. The thing is, in that moment, I learned that I can transform my intellectual capital in other types of capital. I could transform my dreams into reality. And I was just an engineer, because after that, my passion for programming, I did programming courses, and then I joined the university to do computer engineer. And then again, there were different moments of my life that I realized different things. And one of the things that I realized back then was I could design things that would work really well, but it would be really ugly. So I decided to pursue art. I had my tech background. I was a computer engineer. I started to work at Global Television, an important TV station company back in Brazil in the time. But I decided to move on. I decided to, hey, let me try to pursue art. I started to do art, and then I decided to go to the United States, to go to New York University to look for art. What is art? And it's not just the university I wanted to attend, that was the New York University, but also the city. How can I understand about art? And art is not just aesthetics. Art is, the way of seeing things is to stop in the middle of the street and then seeing things that you haven't seen before is another way of thinking. And this for me was very important. So, of course, the university was important, but besides the university, the whole city. I was hacking the city. I did many things in the city that, helped me to bring this other side of the brain type of thinking. So then we had the 9/11 attacks in New York. Of course, you remember that. Really sad days. And this was an opportunity to leave New York a little bit. I thought it was going back really soon after the 9/11 attacks, but then I went to Mexico. And you see this picture, and Mexico was really open, welcoming me. And with some friends, they were already setting up a company. We established this company. It was how to apply technology for entertainment. And guess what? On our third month of operations, we were acquired by the largest out-of-home entertainment company in Latin America. So, kids, 20-something, being acquired, and then we had the opportunities to make so many projects. And I did theme parks and theme park attractions. I did digital signage projects. I did brand activations. I designed for the top major brands around the world, always using technology as my tool. So today, and I want to quickly start wrapping up the introduction, I teach at IE Business School, at International MBA, and also special assignments like this, and I'm happy to be part of. But also, I give conferences around the world for other platforms and universities. I also collaborate with the World Economic Forum in different platforms, the United Nations. I run programming in Davos every year, and so I'm involved with public speaking and knowledge. I'm also involved with startups, to design startups, to be board of startups, to help startups around the world to really make an impact. I also do commission work by companies and governments. I got calls from different places, and then suddenly I see myself designing things for the Olympics or for Independence Day celebration of a country. So I'm always designing. And we are designers. Every one of us are designers. I'm going to give you some samples. And what is my goal today? My goal is that I'm going to give you some samples, quick samples of things that I've designed. Some are better designed than the others, but they're a continuous exercise of designing things, bringing ideas to reality. I adopted a different strategy. Instead of talking about the companies that I designed, I'm going to show you in more detail two of the projects that I did, one more artistic, the other one more commercial. And just to mention, I'm also an artist. I do interactive installations. I've done for museums and galleries around the world. So a couple samples for you. So this is back in the days. I was curious and interested on the dialogue between the environment and people. Because there's no dialogue between people and the space. I mean, if it's too hot, I just, take my jacket off, but there's no conversation going on. So I decided to design something that would be this continuous dialogue between space and people. So this was back in the days, 1998, the image you're seeing, it was the first interactive dance club in Latin America, back in the days. So what I did, I put sensors, tactiles, analog sensors, and then I would interpret mathematically how people were moving and changing the position on the space. And then accelerometers on the wrists, and then I have a lot of data to play, and the music was being defined, designed, and played based on the movements and behavior, generating this dialogue between the music I'm listening, how I'm dancing. The way I'm dancing is changing the music, and so we have this continuous dialogue. Time went by. I was also for a while, I was into urban interventions. So I designed this technology that with a laser pointer, you could, design and paint facades of buildings. This picture that you see here, this is Larva. This is in Guadalajara, Mexico. And a lot of people participate on that. I did a series of urban interventions. So I did also, this is for another project that I did, the concept is that people would, Christmas is nothing without people's energy, right? So it was a series of 12 bicycles that you would pedal. When you pedal, you transform energy, and then you start lighting the Christmas tree. So you start pedaling, and one of one of the spheres start blinking and oh, that's mine. And you keep on pedaling, 2 watts that you generate, then you have the Christmas tree being lighted. 120 people together, they can light this Christmas tree, and when it's lighted, then you have a light show, and it fades away, because we have to keep on generating the energy for Christmas. This is a series of urban furniture that I did, and then Toyota, the car company, bought them. The idea was that you can generate your own energy, and it was the time that we were launching Prius, so it was a perfect combination, how to teach people without giving a flyer away. And we had this almost as a guerrilla marketing type of thing that we put on some public parks. And projects like this one that was a couple of years ago for Emirates. I'm gonna show you a quick video, it's a 2-minute video that shows the whole concept.
Welcome to the Emirates First Class Lounge. Are you comfortable?
It's impressive, isn't it?
It's amazing. It's
very well done, yeah?
I really liked it.
Oh, got an idea what was the project. So the project was, at the beginning designed by Pulse Group out of the UK, and then they hired me along with Fly Emirates to design their virtual reality application. So it was an amazing project, and maybe in another masterclass I can tell you everything that we did, like sleeping in the desert and living for a couple of days in a A380 first class, and then go into the lounge, and then designing this whole thing. And it was an amazing project. And I did a lot of experimentations, because if you don't experiment to try to do something, then you're in trouble. Look at this one. So this was an urban intervention. This is interactive painting, that you get the roller, those rollers of paint, and then you go on a wall. Of course, you use as a projector. And I love to do urban interventions. And some of you already know I've been detained by the police a couple of times, but it's good. In the name of art, it's all good. That one was in Mexico. I was not detained, although the cops stopped a couple of times to see what was going on. But things might happen, but we shouldn't stop because of that, right? So, and one more example before I jump into the cases I want to talk more about. This is I love this picture. This picture was taken in Bucaramanga. This is in Colombia. Hi, Colombians. I see a lot of Colombians back here. And this was a festival called Heroes Fest. And this project's called Brain Art. What I do is that I transform my feelings in art in real time using a hacked electroencephalogram. So this is something that I started many years ago. I was in Ecuador, the first one, and I've done this performance in more than 20 countries now. I did this in in the UK on O2 Arena. I did this in Dubai, presented to the royal family of UAE recently, and India, Argentina, and Italy. I've done this project in so many places, and I collaborate with local artists that would play music. The music would go through my body, my brain, and my brain activity generates the graphics. And it's a very successful project, but you know, it's just a matter of hacking electroencephalogram. And it's not hard as you think. Okay, so I have two cases now that I want to talk a little bit more. And again, this talk is about design. It's also about entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial mindset, how to face a challenge. And usually, you're solving a problem, right? So I'm going to talk about two cases. The first case I implemented here in Spain. It's called the Wishing Cloud. So as any other project that you might start in your company, outside your company, you know, I had a purpose. And this purpose came from a client, actually a potential client. And the client was Telefónica. So Espacio Fundación Telefónica is an amazing space here in Madrid. If you come to Madrid, please go visit. It's in Fuencarral and Gran Via, in the center of Madrid, an amazing space. And a space that I loved already. You know, I saw Norman Foster there. I saw a lot of artists that I admire be exposing, showing things there. And then I got this call, and they say, hey, we want you as an artist. Wow, really? Okay. So what do you want me to do? Maybe it's commission. No, you can do whatever you want. Okay. So it was Christmas season, holiday season. So, okay, let me go and take a look at the place. So the first thing that I did was to empathize. If you know a little bit about design thinking, it's about to understand people and understand also the space. So this is a picture I took in the space, right? So I went there to the space. The space is amazing. And I just stood there for a while, just seeing what people are doing. How was their behavior? Because I could not think about designing without knowing about the space, the light, the temperature, the air current, what happens during the day, people's behavior, or they're looking for. This is a public space. That's very important when you design this. I'm designing for the general public. But still, it's general public. We have to find a segment of people you want to design to. Please never design for everybody. If you're launching something, never ever design for everybody. Everybody can, benefit from what you're doing, but you do not design for everybody. So I was looking at the space, and I was seeing that they have this amazing glass elevator. People would go to the elevator and see the space. They would have a meeting point right in the center of that amazing space. So I was watching for a while. And this is the opposite view from the previous picture. I would, see the street. And then, wow, I saw that staircase. That staircase is amazing. It has an art piece made with metal that's hanging that staircase up in the air. So like, wow, that's for me. I want that space. I don't know what I want to do, but I want that space. So I left my 2 days of contemplating and seeing and talking to people. Why did you come here? And then it was a time, and I usually travel a lot, but there was a time that I was traveling a lot and also looking at clouds. So cloud was my thing. I was playing with my cell phone, like putting in the panorama thing and then doing the panorama, just hanging, out of the window of the airplane and see how the clouds were designing something new on my cell phone. So I had the whole cloud thing. And so the cloud concept was growing on me. So I went back home, I got my kids, and we bought cotton, and we bought the Chinese lamp, and then we made a cloud. And this is a picture I took in the bathroom of the house. Like, wow, this cloud looks good. But was not enough. What is the concept behind it? So cloud became so many things for me. The place, Espacio Fundación Telefónica, is also a space of technology, of art, of design, and of people, community. And then I thought, hey, cloud is something very powerful. Cloud, if we talk about technology, is where we're storing things in the cloud, right? So it has already a technological component. Cloud is also something very important because I stopped to think about the season. And what do we do when we're by the end of the year? You know, when it's December, we start wishing things. Hey, I wish next year I'll find a job. I wish next year I'll be studying at IE Business School. I wish next year I'm going to find the love of my life. So we wish things. And what do we do when we wish things? We look up, usually. I don't recall anyone wishing things looking down. So we look up because we're wishing to the skies. We're wishing maybe to God, if you believe in God. And then the cloud became my God, became God. Hey, we can ask things for the cloud. And the cloud is also amazing because it's made of particles, you know, and it's ethereal. At the same time, you have concrete elements in the microview. So you can go in a cloud, you see the cloud. When you're in the cloud, you kind of don't grasp, you cannot touch it, but then you get a little bit wet because of the particles. Wow, that's amazing. I'll work with the cloud. So the concept was growing, and then I'm going to do the cloud. And then, of course, you know, part of the empathy and part of the design thinking process, I did a lot of research. There are so many types of clouds. And then there's a big challenge for the designers. What type of cloud do I want? Do I want something more conceptual as an artist, or as anyone? We can do this, have something really conceptual. But I thought, hey, this is a public space for the general public, so it shouldn't be that conceptual. People should see the cloud and understand it's a cloud, that I don't have to explain that's a cloud. Of course, in art, we can do anything, but I wanted to connect with my audience, so I designed this. So the problem is that people, they wish things, and they don't know if their wishes were heard. So I want to solve that problem. So I designed the wishing cloud, La Nube de los Deseos. So that was the concept, and then I started designing it. So I was also traveling and was out of the country, so I hired a workshop to work with it, and then I went to the warehouse to see how it was, and then it was the day of the installation. I don't know if you have installed things on an art space gallery. It's really tricky. You have to take care of a lot of things to implement that. So we did some testings. The software was running, and it was okay. We tried with different people. We did that small validation, changed the code a little bit, and then this is the day of the installation. And then I decided to print that mat that would connect, and at the end, it kind of like closed the concept really well, because we had a mat with a grass, although it's not real grass, but looked like glass. And then you'd see the connection between something ethereal, transcendent, intangible, with something tangible. So there was that, and then more pictures about the design. Here the cloud is laughing at me or with me, I don't know. And then this was the final installation. So the final installation was some minimal design. We had a cloud that looked like a cloud. People could say, oh, this is a sheep. but when I say it's a cloud, it's hanging, it's over something. And then it became really, really pretty. And it even grew on me. And then we launched it, and this video was made. So I don't know if you understood what was going on, but the thing is, I wanted that people would make their wishes, but using social media. They would get their cell phones and then write down, take a picture, take a selfie, and then write down a wish. And then you hashtag your wish, and there's some special hashtags, and then you wish something through Twitter or Instagram, and then you send where to? To the cloud, right? To the skies. The thing is, you can do this every day, every time. The thing is, the cloud would catch those wishes and make it rain back to you. So you get something like this, the one that's in the picture. You have your wish there, and then you have your picture, and then of course you have the brand of the place, and then, wow, someone is listening. Usually we don't have feedback when we wish something, and here we have that physical feedback that if you know a little bit about, designing for the senses and neuromarketing and having this instant feedback, that's amazing, that instant status fix that, wow, look at this, what I have. They are listening, the cloud is listening. And then you take this home. And then we started to see a lot of people lining up, and those are real pictures, not staged pictures, with people waiting, for their pictures to be rained, or their wishes to come back. And so we had in 20 days 600,000 hits in social media. So if you see this under the aspect or the perspective of marketing, there was a very good marketing campaign. And we're talking about Spain, and that we don't have the same numbers as when we design in Brazil or Mexico or Russia or the US, but those are very good numbers. And it became a thing, and people were coming. And then when you go back to design, we just watching the first days, we could learn so much. For instance, there was this couple that was there for a while. And then I saw what they were doing is that they were printing all their photo album of their honeymoon trip. So they're like printing and printing and printing, like, okay, I need to put a filter here that would block more than, 2 wishes, 2 pictures per hour. And then I saw that people were going home and doing things from home, but I would see the pictures and where is everyone? There's nobody here. Then I put like geofence on top of that. And then if you see, again, like, and if you heard about, lean methodology, agile methodology, that, you build a little bit, you learn, and you rebuild, and you fix, and you make it better. So I was doing this. Every day there's a new iteration, even to change the paper, because, sorry, to take this thing down from, the magic of the cloud, but there is a printer in there, so I had to fix this and go up and change the paper of the printer, and then have a software that would see how many prints were left, and on and on. So every project starts with a vision, an idea, a sense. In that case, I had a client, that would be willing to pay for that, but I was not designing for Telefonica, I was designing for people. That's why I went there, to see what people were doing in that space. So, and at the end, just as a wrap up of this example, at the end we brought everything down, and what do we do with this? So we had a lot of cloud material. It's like fireproof material that we had. Like, what do we do with this? I don't want to throw things in the trash. I mean, this has to be like circular economy. What's the end of my project? So what we did, we got this, and this bag that you see in the white bag is big. It's like this big, And we had the smaller ones. We collected all of them, so it was a lot of material. So we did 2 things. One, we made pillows, pillows, and this was the stuffing of those pillows, and we numbered them. 1 of 10, 2 of 10, and we had like 10 of those. Inside there was a picture of the installation, and we wrote cloud inside. And then we made a limited edition of those that I gave away most of them. And we gave away also for an organization, a nonprofit organization, the leftover, so can do plush toys for the kids. So at the end, clients were happy. The client was happy, consumers were happy, I was happy, and everyone in the ecosystem was happy. But it was the whole process of designing this and accomplishing what we're supposed to accomplish, and it was a finite project. So I'm gonna now go to another client. So this was an art project, and I do a lot of this approach also with the startups that I help or design. Always start like, in the insight, thinking, idea, inspiration, and then what is the problem I'm trying to solve, to whom, who are they, what do they do, how can I, when I launch something, a solution for that problem, how can I have success, although I have to validate everything in the process, and then I launch something, I validate, I redesign it, and on and on and on until I have something that's robust, is stable, and it's accomplishing the goal. Okay? So now we still have 15 more minutes, and in the next approximately 10 minutes, I'm gonna tell you about another project. And this is a commercial project, and this was back, 2 years ago? 3 years ago now. So I got this call from Miami. Hey, we have something for you. Okay, what it is? There's technology-based, should be technology-based. We thought about you and the design that you can make. Oh, that's amazing. So who is the client? Oh, it's The Voice. So I hope that you know about The Voice, the show. So if you don't, I mean, it's a reality show that we have singers. We have, The Voice has singers. And usually the first auditions, the judges, they are given their backs in the chair and they don't see people singing. If they like what they hear, they press a button and the chair spins and they can try to get people to their teams in that competition. So, but the interesting thing here is that why they were calling me? Because they had a sponsor. The show had a sponsor. And the sponsor was Listerine. So Listerine is the mouthwash, and usually it's more or less the same around the world, maybe different colors and flavors, but it's a mouthwash, and it's, we can find them in different countries. But the thing is, why would Listerine want to sponsor The Voice? And the answer is because of TV time. They're gonna have content. And it's like, okay, that's cool. So Listerine is bringing some money. And I don't know if you know, this is Sony The Voice. Sony did not design The Voice, the show. It's a company that designs content, and you can get a license for that content. So in Colombia, we have TV Caracol. In Brazil, we have TV Globo. In Mexico, I think it's Televisa. And in the US, we have a Sony television doing this. And not only this, we have the local show and we have the international show. So we have also The Voice, American The Voice, that's on Sony station channel, is also broadcasting in Brazil and Colombia and Mexico and Latin America. So there's a competition between them, but a lot of people watch The Voice. So moving on with this. So before showing what I want to show, so the idea was, for me, I wanted to create a strong concept. And this is, doesn't matter if it's your startup, you need that massive transformation purpose. You need that thing that will make sense, why you're doing what you're doing. And so I started to think about Listerine. And what is the first thing that you think when you think about Listerine and The Voice? Is the bathroom. Why is the bathroom? Because a lot of people, they sing in the bathroom. So, wow, I'm going to make this connection. And there's an agency, of course, involved out of Miami. And say, oh, that's a great idea. So let's do something. Let's record this. But let's connect this with, bathrooms. So the design was to have bathrooms in shopping centers in Latin America, because this was oriented to Latin America, simultaneously. And people they could sing a contest, and the winners would go to Los Angeles to see the recording. But I wanted to do something else. I wanted to do people to visualize themselves in the show. So we managed to talk to the managers of, in the time it was what, Alicia Keys, and it was Blake Shelton, was, you know, all the famous judges, and they said, yeah, we can record with you. But then, you know, paperwork would take too long, and then we made a small twist. The small twist is that, and then I'm gonna show this on your screen, is that, hey, why do this? Why not doing a backstage? So I want to see myself immersed in a backstage, and I would see all these amazing characters that they go to those reality TV shows. You know, someone that's trying to get a kick on their career, someone that's the last chance to be famous, and they always love to be, always dreamed about being famous, and so on. And then we quickly designed those characters. There was an illustration, and with this illustration, we closed the deal. Hey, we're gonna do a VR, a virtual reality, immersive environment with interactive audio that people would be inside the backstage, and then suddenly, or after seeing the other participants, a producer will come and say, hey, you're next, you know, and then suddenly you see yourself on stage. Of course, we recorded this in Portuguese and Spanish, and the casting was amazing, and we managed to do this project. So, and before talking a little bit about what you see in this, those are two pictures that I took in São Paulo, was that, you know, to implement that, we had to go through so many obstacles. You know, the quality of things that you're recording, to be able, the quality to be on TV, how people would see the songs, how to select the songs, how to send this every night to Sony, the approval of the Sony president. I remember I was flying to Miami to present it, and when I landed in Miami, there was a message in my cell phone asking for small changes in the project, and I had to run. It was so hot in Miami that day. I managed to go to different stores and get the things that I wanted to put the system together, and then present to Sony's president, and he gave us, you know, his blessing. That was, okay, I like this. So what we did is we designed bathrooms. We designed bathrooms, but before you go to the bathroom, you go and you sign a disclosure, and you sign the license that you allow your image to be on TV if you're selected, and we had the replicas of bathrooms, and using the colors of Listerine, and you see this picture. I took, you know, my cell phone, and you see it looks like a bathroom, and we have a product placement there. So people would go and be curious, hey, what is going on? Oh, it's The Voice, and you can sing in the bathroom. The best singers will go to Los Angeles to watch a recording of the show. Wow. And a lot of people start to sign up. They would go and watch the virtual reality application content that we did. Amazing. So many people involved with this. I remember like 9 hours just to set up the lights. And we recorded this in Spain. We were supposed to do this in Los Angeles. We couldn't go. We decided to be in Spain. And it was an amazing project. And then people would go to the bathroom and sing. So you see some pictures, you know, the tripod with a tablet, and then you have a camera, and you have a professional mic. And hidden in that bathroom is a sound engineer to help equalize the song and your voice. And there's a picture I took in Buenos Aires. I had to, you know, go to different countries. This was simultaneously for 4 days in 6 countries in Latin America. So I had like to go from one country to the other, see what's going on, and make sure everything was fine and working. Let's see this video.
La promoción Lleva tu voz a The Voice, una alianza entre Listerine y Canal Sony, es un éxito. Cientos de personas están sacando lo mejor de sí en una experiencia de realidad virtual que es intrépida.
Yo creo que todo el mundo ha hecho karaoke en algún momento, entonces es como otro tipo de karaoke.
Para mí cantar en la regadera y cantar en el baño, yo creo que es el momento donde más libre te sientes.
Y están participando de la promoción que podría llevarlos a una grabación de The Voice en Los Ángeles.
Solo con pensarlo se acelera el pulso.
¡Corre! Porque aún tienes tiempo para participar. Tienes hasta el 30 de abril. Ingresa al site y entérate cómo. Sácalo intrépido y participa.
So we implemented that, we launched, and also we used other tools to marketing. So we had influencers in Brazil, in Colombia, in Mexico, in Argentina, and the countries that we implemented that. And they would help us to promote. And we had lines of people to sing and to, try their luck as singers. And it's funny. It's funny because at the end you design a platform, right? Is that a platform that people would come, and you don't know what will happen. So we have to be very attentive and see people's expression, try to tweak, and just 4 days launching in so many countries at the same time, things could go wrong. So a lot of communication, talking to people, what's going on, please do not miss any file, have replica of this, put on the cloud, not the cloud that you just saw, the other cloud, and have everything ready for the clients to see, and then eventually pick the winners. And then this was in São Paulo. So I was in São Paulo, and then I saw some trendy kids around, and I went there, do you sing? And I guess, yeah, we sing. Really? Yeah, we sing. So why don't you come here and try? So they went there, those kids, and one of them was really preparing himself. And it was like doing makeup, and like, wow, he really wants that. So let's watch this video and see this kid. So I recorded that video. I explained why and how.
I want to drum on the touch of her head. I want to let her start a kissing and sing. I want to love, love. I want to love. You know that I want to, and you know that I need you. I want your back romance. I want your love and I want your revenge. You and me, you're out of bed romance. Caught in a bed romance. Roma, caught in a bed romance. No. Caught in a bed romance. Alright, here we go. Woo!
So I thought he was going to sing well, and then I went to the bathroom with him. So I had my camera, and that's the sound engineer back then, and the other kids outside. And then he started getting things as props. I mean, nobody else had done this before, getting the towels because of bathroom, the toothbrush as a microphone. And the kid was a star. And he ended up winning the contest. I didn't even know. I just thought, oh, this kid, I think he's good. And recorded, and was amazing. And then he ended up going to Los Angeles. And he was the winner of Brazil, and the other countries, they have their own winners. And in Chile, they have their representative, and Peru, and so on and on. And then, if you do a recap, all the challenges of this project, again, who are we designing to? People that aspire to sing. And we know that people who aspire to sing, they're all types. Some people really bad singing, and they don't know about this. Some people, they're good. And so we had all these types of people coming, and it was the joy of seeing all types of people coming, pursuing their dreams to be famous, or at least their 15 minutes there. And the client was very happy because we quickly could have this implemented in different countries. And this cannot be done if you're doing by yourself. I had a big hand in that in terms of design and concept and designing a lot of things, but the director, the wardrobe artist that did an amazing job. She's from the UK, and I had the director is a Spanish director here from Madrid. We had a whole crew coming from UAE and Barcelona with the 360 cameras, light artists. We did the casting, had amazing artists, actresses coming for that. We had local producers to make the physical space. We had a tech team, audio engineers, so many people involved in that. And suddenly, we managed to accomplish our goal. And again, launching, pre-launching, learning, and quickly adapting. So coming from an idea to implementation. So I want to start wrapping up this talk, right? And I want to do this with that 2 slides. The first slide is this: designing as with an entrepreneurial mindset. We cannot design anything, an art piece, a commercial piece, a startup, without thinking about people and using a methodology to help us out. First, design for consumers, not for your clients. And if you're designing for Coca-Cola's or any company, do not design for them. Of course, you have to understand them and their values, what they want to communicate. But you design for your consumers and design for yourself. You gotta have fun. You gotta design something that is challenging for you. 95% of the things that I do, I don't know how to do it. Or better, the things that I sell, I don't know how to do them, but that's my driver. And I can connect people around the world that will jump and share the vision and make the vision even better to move forward. 2, accomplish a goal. What is the goal? You cannot design anything without having a problem to solve, a goal. We need that. Your work is never finished. If you launch I never heard about any startup that was launched, any project that was finished, even a painting. Talk to an artist. Is it over? Is it done? Because I see it's really well. No, it's not. And even when you deliver the work, you're still thinking about different possibilities for that. For the cloud, now I imagine that the cloud would have, I don't know, maybe a thunderstorm every time he catches a dream, a wish, and so on and on. And it's fine. Another one is collaboration is key. We cannot do anything by ourselves. We need that multidisciplinary approach. We have to be humble. Even if we're designing our own company, the company stop being yours and start to be of a group. And this is the amazing moment that your project gets better. So we have to collaborate. It's not that you just ditch your main idea too quickly. Try to see if it makes sense. If it makes sense, just make it stronger. Collaboration in conceptual, in strategic, and also, of course, implementation. We cannot do everything. And complex design should not be complicated. When you see the cloud looks neat, clean, and it's just a cloud. And there's a lot of complexity, but it shouldn't be complicated for people when they deal with it and understand how it is, okay? And my first slide is this. And think about this. Designers are the new philosophers. Remember when the world changed and the Industrial Revolution and what happened in France and the philosophers, they had a great hand in the transformation. But now, the designers, us, you, me, we're the change now. We're the new philosophers. Not only we can have new ideas, but we can show and validate those ideas and maybe generating a positive impact in the world. So, thank you very much. We've finished this first class. I hope you have enjoyed. I'm super happy if we connect on LinkedIn, that you connect with yourselves on LinkedIn, and you stay tuned because we're going to have another 10 master classes coming up in the next couple of days to share with you some thoughts. And this is academia, but also we're connected to the real world. You don't have to agree with the things that we say here, but we bring them here a different perspective so we can together design the future we're looking for. Thank you very much.